Hey everybody, it's Brad with the Big Family Homestead, and in this video we are continuing our off-grid talk, open discussion, chat thingamabobber, and so, well, without any further ado, let's get cracking. So a couple of days ago I put out a video on the topic of going off-grid. We are opening the discussion, so please do feel free to comment down below, chat with each other, question my ideas if they're questionable. If they're not, agree with them. And the idea behind this whole thing is just to open the discussion and communicate different points of view, and hopefully we all come out on the other side of this with a better perspective and a stronger conviction on what we think about the topic of being off-grid. So in the past, the past video, we talked about the legal ramifications, the possible legal issues that you're going to be involved in if you choose to try to live an off-grid life. Well, great, good, great, grand, wonderful, and you guys jumped in there as I had hoped you would, and people were chatting it up, and that's good. Today's topic is this: should I consider going off-grid? Now, what do you mean, should I consider going off-grid? Well, I'm making the assumption that you are considering being off-grid. That's part of this discussion. So, should I? What is the real question behind that? You've got to answer the basic fact for your own life of what is it that I really want to do? Why am I going out there, or why am I thinking about trying to do this kind of life? What are the reasons behind it? Would you just spit it out, man? You've got to answer the why question. What is it that's making you want to disconnect, okay? Are you, say, a prepper mindset where you think there's going to be some kind of cataclysm happen and you want to have a bug out location where you can escape to, or frankly, if you're just wanting to live there permanently, someplace that you can be, that if society were to have some major calamity, that you want to have that safety of being secluded? Well, okay, there's one. What about the possibility that you don't like being monitored by all of the powers that be? You can just fill in the blank with all those things, but all the powers that be through, cell phone communications, computer communications, TV communications, believe it or not. TVs do spy on you. The smart grid is crazy. Your electric. They even have refrigerators now that do it. It's absolutely nuts. And if you don't believe me, read your terms of service contract in your TV, and then you can come back and apologize. It is what it is. Now, it's not enough just to scratch your head and say, well, I think this, and this are reasons that I want to consider this off-grid life. I'm talking about getting really into it, guys. I'm talking about spreadsheets, watching lots of videos, getting books and getting informed, because the reality is this: that kind of lifestyle, I don't live the off-grid lifestyle, and I'm not sure I want to. And that's kind of one of the reasons why we're doing this video series, because I think a lot of people get it in their head that it's going to be this fantasy life, like it's going to be so great, utopian, I'm going to be able to do this, and that, and it's going to be just great. And they discount all of the stuff that goes along with that life. They jump into it, and then they get their butts kicked and they jump back out. And so that's what this is kind of geared at doing, is making you analyze, okay, what's it going to be really like? Okay, let's go back to the should I question. What are the reasons? Now, if you say, well, I'm tired of being, monitored with all the different communications, well, then you've got to ask yourself this: if you go to this off-grid lifestyle, do you plan on having a cell phone? Pensively stroking my beard. Are you going to continue having electric that's from the power grid, or are you going to try to do completely alternative power sources? And are you going to, how are you going to do it? Think about it. You've got to get this from here conceptualized to on paper to a real plan, or else you're just destined to fail. And so answer those questions in your life. What is it that I'm trying to get away from? And here's the big point for me in my life. Sure, we could live without electricity. We absolutely could. We can do our own fires. We know how to cook. We know how to clean things. We know how to gather water. We know how to have resources, food, shelter, etc., without the convenience of electricity. We can do that. Now, do I want to do that? See, therein lies the rub. Think of how easy life is when you have access to instant blah. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not discounting that life. I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is this: everything's a trade-off. For every privacy that we give up with a cell phone or an electric light that you just flick the switch on and you pay your bill, all of those things come with a give and take. Every single thing is a trade-off. So if you value your privacy greatly, the off-grid life may be the kind of thing where you're like, yeah, that's a trade-off I'm willing to make. And that's really the point of this whole discussion today, is you have to answer in your own world those things that are what the should I, or what are my real reasons for thinking about doing this? And then deciding, risk reward, everything's a trade-off. Is this worth more to me than this? Is my privacy worth more than convenience in that area? And a lot of people who go off grid still try to stay connected via the internet or other means of those communications. And in your life, you just have to decide, is this worth this? And that's really where you're going to have to, before you even consider the mechanics and the logistics of going off grid. And we're going to talk about that, but you have to, first things first, can I legally even do this? Second thing, should I? What are my trade-offs? What am I going to give up to get? And so there it is. The conversation rages on. You guys talk about it down in the comments section below. Video responses are encouraged. And I am Brad from the Big Family Homestead. You guys have an amazing day.